The transfer had finally come through. It was a fresh start, a chance to leave the past behind. I pictured our new life in California, the sun-drenched beaches, and the promise of a brighter future for our family. I had worked tirelessly for this promotion. It meant everything to me, to us. It was supposed to fix everything. My wife, Sarah, had been distant lately, but I chalked it up to the stress of the move. I was certain things would be different once we were settled. The drive was long, the excitement bubbling in my chest like a pot about to boil over. I couldn't wait to see the look on Sarah's face when we finally arrived. This was it. This was our new beginning. As I glanced over at Sarah, lost in thought, a flicker of unease momentarily shadowed my joy. Her phone buzzed incessantly. Each notification was like a hammer blow to my gut. She kept her phone close, always face down, her smile strained whenever I came near. Something was wrong. I tried to ignore the gnawing feeling in my stomach, but it was no use. "Who is it, honey?" I asked casually, trying to mask the tremor in my voice. "Just work," she mumbled, her eyes glued to the screen. Her answers were always vague, evasive. The doubts began to fester, growing into monstrous shapes in the darkness. The joy I had felt earlier was now a distant memory. We stopped at a Motel 6 for the night. Exhaustion clung to me, but sleep was a distant dream. Sarah was restless, pacing the small room, her phone still glued to her hand. Suddenly she stopped, her shoulders slumping as if a great weight had settled upon them. She turned to me, her face pale and drawn. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered, her voice breaking. My heart pounded in my chest. "Do what?" I asked, dreading the answer. "This," she said, holding up her phone. "Him." The world seemed to tilt on its axis. My stomach churned. "Him," I echoed, the word catching in my throat. Tears welled in her eyes. "It's just been so hard lately," she sobbed. "I didn't mean for it to happen." The excuses spilled from her lips, hollow and meaningless. I felt numb, the weight of her betrayal crushing me. Promises were made, tears were shed, but the damage was done. Section 5. The Weight of Truth. The drive to California was a blur. The silence was deafening, punctuated only by Sarah's choked sobs and the hammering of my own heartbeat in my ears. How could she do this to me? To us? The life we had built, the future we had planned, it all felt like a cruel joke. I glanced at our 2 children in the back seat, their faces innocent and oblivious to the storm raging around them. Our eldest, Emily, was so excited about the move, about living near the beach. My heart ached for them, for the life they knew, now shattered into a million pieces. Section 6. Shards of a Family. The moment we stepped into our new home, the weight of Sarah's betrayal hit me with full force. Empty rooms mocked us, their emptiness a stark reminder of the life we were supposed to have. The confrontation was inevitable, explosive. Angry words like shards of glass cut through the air, leaving behind a trail of pain and destruction. Our children cowered in fear, their innocent eyes wide with confusion and terror. Section 7. Through a Child's Eyes. Emily's face, stained with tears, haunted me. "Mummy, why are you shouting?" she cried, her small voice trembling. I saw the fear in her eyes, the confusion that mirrored my own. In that moment, I knew I had to hold it together, for them, for the sake of my children. Section 8. Echoes of Betrayal. The house was filled with the ghosts of our shattered dreams. Every corner held a memory, now tainted with the bitter taste of betrayal. The laughter, the joy, the love we shared, it all felt like a lie. Sleep offered no escape, only a relentless replay of her confession, her whispered words echoing in the darkness. How could I ever trust her again? How could we ever come back from this? Section 9. The Abyss of Trust. Days turned into weeks, each one a painful reminder of what I had lost. The chasm between us seemed insurmountable, an abyss of broken trust and shattered promises. I went through the motions of life, but my heart wasn't in it. The pain was a constant companion, a dull ache that intensified with every shared glance, every forced conversation. Section 10. Searching for answers. I searched for answers, for some explanation that could make sense of the wreckage of our lives. Was it me? Had I failed her in some way? The questions tormented me, offering no solace, only deepening the wound. I needed to understand, to make sense of the chaos that had become my life. I owed it to myself, to my children, to find a way forward. Section 11. Picking up the pieces. Slowly, painfully, I began to pick up the pieces of my shattered heart. I focused on my children, their well-being my only anchor in the storm. Their laughter, their unconditional love, became my lifeline. The road to healing was long and arduous, but I knew I had to take it, one step at a time. Section 12. An uncertain future. The future stretched before me, uncertain and daunting. The pain of betrayal lingered, a constant reminder of what I had lost. But amidst the ruins, a flicker of hope remained. The hope for healing, for forgiveness, for a future where love could bloom again. Only time would tell if the wounds could truly heal, if trust could be rebuilt from the ashes of our shattered dreams. Until then, I would keep moving forward, for myself, for my children, and for the faintest glimmer of hope that someday, somehow, we might find our way back to each other.